everyone, my brain is like only semi-working today. I keep getting really dizzy, like out of breath, and like full sentences are kind of hard, but I wanted to film this video anyways, so sorry. I also need to remember not to see if I put my head there. It's like, oh god, the sun. So, oh, now it's gone too dark. See, we have to stay very still today. Hey guys, it is Amy here, and today we're going to be talking about some tips and tricks, I guess, for what you should take to uni, what I brought and I'm glad I brought, what I didn't need to bring, what things like that. Part of this is from my experience, but I've also spoken to a couple of other people to ask what they think, because as aforementioned, my brain ain't working so great today, so I'm going to go through those things, tell you what I think, and hopefully impart some advice to you guys. We're going to start with the things that I am glad that I did bring. So the first one would be a bath mat. Sounds like a really small thing, but honestly, like, the uni bathrooms can sometimes be really cold. We had silverfish, which if you don't know, look it up. I don't really want to put a picture in here because you guys don't like it, but they're basically like these little beetly things, and they were everywhere, and we quite often found dead ones on the floor of our own suites, and it was generally just unpleasant. So a bath mat is definitely like a plus. The next thing is storage things. So I'm talking about like little boxes or like trays and things like that. Quite often university rooms won't have necessarily, like, they might have lots of storage, but they won't have the type of storage that you want, and having like really simple ways to tidy stuff up will make your life easier. Like, I have these trays, and like there is so much like random crap in this tray, but rather than having bits of paper strewn all over my desk, it all just goes in here. And like, yes, it's not the most elegant of solutions, but it definitely helps keep things tidy when you don't particularly have time to keep things tidy. Take a big pot with handles and a lid. So for this, I just bought little ones at first, and then I ended up buying a bigger one for a couple of reasons. One, if you like baking but you don't want to bring a bowl, use one of those. It's got a handle, makes it easier to mix. I mentioned this in my last video, so it's really good for that. If you want to cook a smaller thing, yes, it might take longer in a bigger pot, but you can't use a small pot as a big pot, but you can use a big pot for a small pot. Does that make sense? You follow? And also it means that you can group cook things. So yes, you might not want to like meal prep like 12 meals at once, but you could just decide that everyone's having pasta and you cook pasta all in the same pot, and you guys can like prepare it however you want. Similar to that, I would recommend food storage things. IKEA sell this big set of like Tupperware with like green lids. Those are really good. I would possibly look into maybe a little bit more environmentally friendly solutions, like using a bamboo things rather than plastic. But yeah, food storage is definitely a plus. Also, like, things like when you're going to restaurants and like you only eat like half your pizza, take the rest of it home because someone in your flat will eat it, or you can put it in one of those boxes. I'll do things like I'll sometimes make food for a couple of days in advance, and then I'll have the same dinner for 3 days in a row. Don't at me. A reusable water bottle. This one's probably pretty obvious, but like, it's kind of a meme that like it's just you and your reusable water bottle against the world. Maybe it's just me who's seen that, but it's kind of a thing. Definitely bring a reusable water bottle. You will use it every single day. I use mine every single day. Can I recommend Chili's bottles? They are worth the price. Decorations. I have quite a few decorations. I have my pinboard covered in things. I have this bunting. I have, you can see the eyes of my back cushion that I got from Primark for Halloween. It's a great cushion. Yeah. Rooms, university, especially in like dorm accommodation, have to move along because the sun's moving, can be pretty similar and a bit prison cell like if you don't bring some things to personalize it with, especially when you're first joining and you might feel like separated from your friends and family and things like that. It is definitely nice to have like that like visual reminder that they are real. We're gonna do things that I didn't need to bring next. So a lot of the utensils that I bought I didn't need to bring, so things like I brought like a cheese grater, tin opener, things like that. You don't need to bring them, so what I would recommend doing is waiting until you get into your flat. You don't need, like, we were in a flat with 12 people. We didn't need 12 tin openers. Like, you could just use somebody else's tin opener, like it's fine. And also you might end up buying things that like you think you're gonna use but then you never use. So I bought a cheese grater, but then I just bought grated cheese. I don't know why I thought I would use a cheese grater. So maybe just take like the very bare essentials of utensils. I would say like knives and forks and things like that. I bought a pizza cutter because I eat a lot of pizza and I use that all the time because I eat a lot of pizza. I bought like a skillet. I use that all the time. But apart from that, wooden spoon. You should probably bring a wooden spoon. Apart from that, you don't really need anything. See what people have brought. You can get the rest while you're at uni. Buy them on Amazon really cheap. Get them like from like a local shop, Wilco, something like that. You don't need to buy them before you come. Cleaning supplies. Hear me out. So I came with a full kit of cleaning supplies. You're probably not going to need it because chances are everyone in your flat is going to bring the same thing. So if you bring washing up liquid, a spray, wipes, bleach, all of that, you're going to have 12 for one kitchen. Now if you want to bring stuff for your own personal use, so you want to bring stuff like to clean, if you've got an ensuite, to clean your bathroom, or to clean like your desk or whatever, that's fine. But communal stuff, you're probably better off waiting until it runs out for you to buy it again. Like, we had so much stuff, and currently we have so much stuff because everyone just bought the stuff from last year. We have a cupboard full of sprays and washing up liquid and things like that. I would buy, if I'm going to say anything, I would buy kitchen roll because everyone seems to forget to buy it and we never have any kitchen roll, and this is my third like group of people that I'm living with for uni and we've had the same issue. Like, nobody ever buys kitchen roll. Buy kitchen roll. People in your flat will thank you. Something that I didn't really think about until I started like uni was buying bigger portions of things. So when you like buy like a big bag of pasta or something like that, I would just think about it a little bit more before you buy it, and maybe see what your eating habits are going to be like before you buy it, because if you're like, oh, this is what my family buys so I'm going to buy it, you have to think that you're just the one eating it. For example, like you can get really big things of butter, but the chances are that butter's going to go off before you can finish it and it's just going to be wasted. Or like jars of like pesto and things like that, like you're not going to be able to use them unless you eat a lot of pesto, which you might do, like I'm not joking. Then you're going to end up with a lot of food waste. The things that I would recommend buying bigger would be things like pasta, rice, things like that, that don't go off. But also, again, I would just wait until you get there because A, it's going to take up a lot of room, like in your car when you're travelling, and also you might not have room for it. Like, you might not have room in your kitchen for these big bags of things. If when the time you get there, you might be able to say to everyone, like, listen, all of us, don't bother buying rice, we'll just go and get one of those big industrial ones from Costco or whatever. I think Tesco sell them as well. Anyway, but yeah, I would wait and see before you get there to see, like, those little bags of pasta last me for like forever. Say I only have pasta like once every 2 weeks and you don't use a lot of pasta. They're cheap enough, and to be honest, I wasn't that comfortable with letting stuff sit in my cupboards for months and months and months on end, especially things like that. Because again, we had silverfish and quite often they would get into food. So there's these big massive bags that would take forever to finish. There's more chance that something's going to have gotten into them, and also I'm not going to be able to see because the bag's bigger. So I was much more comfortable buying smaller things anyway. There's a cat and a man piling stones into his drive. Sorry, 1 second. You don't need to bring loads of hobby things. Now, hear me out. I am surrounded by a room full of crafting things, so I can't really comment. And during the lockdown at the moment, you might want to bring things that you need to do, but I would try and keep it to a minimum. You don't need to bring like 17,000 craft items or like every game that you own or whatever, because the chances are you're going to have less time than you're used to. So you're not going to have as much time to spend on these hobbies, so you're going to need less of them. I'm definitely not at all saying don't bring your hobbies and things to uni. Like, there's probably people who will love it as well and things like that. Like, you should definitely continue doing these things, but maybe don't bring like every single thing in your arsenal. Maybe just work it out first, and then after first term, if you're like, right, I wish I'd brought these things, then wait until you go home for Christmas or whatever and then bring the stuff, because you don't know what kind of room you're going to have, you don't know what kind of time you're going to have. So like, wait and assess first. You don't need to get it right the first time. So this is quite long, so we're going to do a quick fire round of things that I should have brought. A screwdriver. You will not underestimate the amount of times that you need a screwdriver. You want to change batteries to something like that. Screwdriver is useful. Maybe even a multi-tool would recommend. a mouse/a mouse pad. If your hands don't work very well, like mine, you'll be spending a lot of time on your laptop, and if you just have a little trackpad, it's not great. Bring a mouse pad is like an optional bit, but like, you know what I mean. And also a keyboard. If you're spending hours a day writing and doing stuff online, especially at the moment when everything's online, it definitely helps. Similarly, noise cancelling headphones. I got most of these things from the DSA, check out my video on my channel. But noise cancelling headphones is really useful if like your flat's having a party, or even if like the person next to you has like TV on or something and your accommodation is not very good at, like, the walls are not very good, you know what I mean. Then you can put these headphones on and it will help a lot. And also I find that you get like, it's almost like a white noise buzz that you get from them, it's a really, really faint thing. Helps me concentrate. So noise cancelling headphones. Lots of blankets. You don't know how warm your accommodation is going to be. They might not let you have a radiator because I don't know what your accommodation is like. Bring blankets. Also helps jazz up the place. Remember to bring cold stuff and layers. Remember that you might be coming in September when it is quite warm, but like the cold season is right around the corner. Especially if you're up north and you're moving from down south. It is colder here. Like, it is colder here. You will need a big coat, you will need like proper boots. I brought walking boots and a big massive coat for like when it snowed. Would recommend bringing lots and lots of layers, jumpers and things. And the last thing that I have for you is to remember to bring medical things, because chances are you're gonna get freshers flu. I have gotten it first year, I got it second year as well, even though I didn't do freshers things. You'll probably get freshers flu. Don't know if that's gonna happen this year, because like getting ill at the moment is a yikes. But basically what happens both years is that I was like, I don't need to bring all this paracetamol and things, I can just buy it while I'm there. And then you get ill and then you're like, I really don't want to walk to the shop to get these things. Or everyone's ill at the same time, so the nearest shop will have no like cough medicine or anything left because everyone's bought it out, because everyone gets ill at the same time. So bring stuff like that you'd want for a cold. I think that's everything. This video is 16 minutes long. Don't know how I'm going to be able to edit it down either. Also the sun is moving. I'm getting further and further over here because okay. I think this video is a little bit all over the place and I do apologise. As I said, my brain isn't working very well, but I need to film this video, so I'm just gonna film it. And also re my last video, I'm gonna like be hiding that less. So if you want weird garbly half sentence Amy, then stick around. Like, subscribe and all that jazz. If you have any requests or questions, I'll leave them in the comments. If you like the band on my forehead, then leave a like and I'll yep. New videos everyone, so like, subscribe and all that jazz, and I'll see you next week. Bye.